Today we ask the big questions between birth and death and what's important in between. And thinking about death and dying is important. A memento Mori helps us put our lives into a new and different perspective. Thinking about life and death help us live more intentional, more mindful and thankful lives, because when we realize that we will die rather sooner than later, then there will be a sense of urgency and a new light in which we look upon the time we have. I'm Peter. I ask the big questions of life occasionally, and I invite you on the journey finding answers for them. I worked for many years as a pastor, a minister of religion, and stood at many graves, spoke at many funerals. And I'm also from Transylvania, Dracula's home country, so presumably I have some expertise in regards to death. That's what people say. But here's my experience in regards to death based on my own experience, and these two books I thoroughly enjoy and recommend: Humanology and never mind the Bullock series, The Science, from Luke O'Neill, my favorite science professor. Especially in the first book, he has a few chapters about death, dying, and the science behind it. You see, dying is not a moment, but oftentimes a process. We are continuously dying. Parts of our bodies just die off. Poof! There are a few thousand cells just gone. A process we did not really figure out how to stop. Have a glass of wine and you just killed another few million brain cells. See, for many people it's very difficult to speak about death. It's like a taboo, especially if there is someone around us in our life, someone we love, who's suffering and might die soon. In those moments we tend to blend it out, to not speak about it, to avoid the conversation and pretend that everything is fine. Indeed, yes, it was a very unexpected death at 103. Indeed, who would have thought? But that is one important reason to meditate about death, to have conversations about it, to think about that last moment for ourselves and also to talk with other people. So, what happens when we die? When are you totally dead? That was not always easy to tell. That's why in the past it happened sometimes that people were buried alive. You don't need to be afraid of that, because nowadays we have accurate ways to tell if somebody died. We also have various methods to keep someone artificially alive. Therefore, a person is declared dead as being brain dead. A person who meets this whole brain definition of death has lost the ability to breathe on their own. Breathing is essential to providing the oxygen your body needs to provide the energy to keep the lights on, so to say. Simply put, according to Luke O'Neill, dying starts when the body doesn't get enough oxygen to survive. More important is what you can expect. Actually, you can calculate that. So, based on your age, your lifestyle, you will get an approximation. I will die Friday, 7th of January 2057. It creates a sense of urgency. The urgency I should actually feel every day and every moment. There is an expiration date. Putting a date on it just makes it clear that it will be rather sooner than later. There are though some things that may impact your life expectancy. Keep on drinking and smoking and you can bring that date for sure a bit further forward. In turn, eat healthy and do more exercise, and you might prolong that date and put on some additional days on your calendar. Maybe you don't want to extend this too much further because the end might not be as nice as one would imagine. A long life expectancy means also a slow degeneration. It means that we will need help for longer, because inevitably there will be in our aging process a moment and a time when we can't care for ourselves anymore and when we rely on the help of others. That leads to very difficult and important questions in our current ethics. Should you be able to choose when the end comes? Should you be able to pull the plug, so to say? That's a hard question. Perhaps adequate palliative care would be the better answer. How else can we ensure that financial incentives and family pressures are not all good reasons to keep the period we need help rather shorter than longer? How else can we ensure that doctors and nurses can fulfill their oath to rescue and care for life rather than taking it? On the other hand, when is long enough enough? How long to live under very hard circumstances which will not get better until the end comes? I think that's not an easy answer, especially as medicine is developing fast and we are able to keep people for longer alive. Anyways, you should not be afraid. When it's over, it's over. And if you live in a Western country, you can expect a good healthcare system that will take care of you as long as you need it. Perhaps knowing all this allows us to put death somewhere on our list of noteworthy thoughts, a place on our to-do list and a bullet point in our journals. Perhaps knowing all this will be a good motivation to implement good habits and systems that might prolong and add some days to our life expectancy. Good habits and systems in regards to food and exercise, helping us along the way and taking away the thought and the fear that we didn't do enough. We could have done more. Look, it's much sooner and it's because of my fault. That's a strange, frightening thought. I absolutely want to do what I can to make sure that I live a fulfilled, long life. Perhaps preparing for death and the thought of dying should be on our daily gratitude list, because we never know. Statistically, many people die every day because of many different reasons, and I could be one of them. That's frightening. That's a frightening thought. A car accident, something unexpected happening, and I'm done. I want to keep this perspective helping me see my life in a more thankful way and helping me live daily more intentionally. Or if it's not for you, maybe we just do what the old saying says: eat and drink and be merry, for we'll die tomorrow. Food for the worms at last. I hope this video was helpful and encouraging to you. Let me know in a comment below what are your thoughts in regards to death and dying, and if you are interested in more thoughts and ideas in regards to good habits and systems, check out this video link below. Thanks and see you hopefully next time.